we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's my alarm. Welcome, folks. Welcome, everyone. It's the first stream. We're gonna do a little bit of pixel art today. I'm gonna pop this up here for a little second, just so you have something nice to look at. Hi, everyone. Hi. Little quiet. Okay, I can put my mic up a little bit. Let me check. This better? Can you guys hear me better now? Okay, that's nice. Okay, good. If there's any audio issues or visual issues, just let me know. First time doing this, so I just want to make sure I get things right. And before we start, just gonna do a little bit of a nice read and let you guys know what Win Canvas is all about. To everyone that's new, welcome. Glad to have you here. At Wit Canvas, our mission is to make art education easily accessible to everyone. Join us for free live streamed lessons on YouTube every week and level up your skills with our community of art nerds. We're more than just a YouTube channel. We're an online school of illustration dedicated to helping artists turn their passion into income. A huge shout out to our amazing students and members for supporting our mission. We love seeing your incredible artwork, and watching you grow in our classes and weekly critiques. Want to dive deeper? Join our Discord to access stream notes and demos, exclusive artwork, art challenges, and resources to help you improve. Come connect with fellow art nerds and get inspired. And hey, nice little banner out there. I'm really happy with the banner. I literally just figured out how to do this. Just to give you guys a rundown, today we're gonna be doing a little bit of pixel art. I'm not exclusively a pixel art artist, but I have a background working in the video game industry, and a lot of the work that I've done for the past 5 years has been for a little video game, little indie darling you guys might know, called Minecraft. So I've got a bit of experience with pixel art. I'm not the greatest pixel artist in the world, but I'm going to try and show you guys a little bit about how I tackle these things. And today, the winner of the poll was How to Train Your Dragon, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, one of my childhood favorites. And we're going to be doing a little bit of drawing with that. Welcome everyone. I'm a little bit nervous. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I hope everything's working okay. We're gonna be doing a little bit of pixel art today with How to Train Your Dragon. First of all, I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about what pixel art is. So recently there's been this really fun challenge going around, which I would 100% recommend to anyone who's like into pixel art or wants to try out. There's the famous NES Mario Bros. Characters, and someone noticed a little bit ago that Princess Peach had a pretty weird looking sprite. This challenge started where people take those same exact colors and that same exact sprite size and try to do their own version. Here's what I did the other day, just to kind of like revise a little bit of what's going on. And I hadn't really done 2D pixel art in a while, but yeah, no, very fun challenge. Highly recommended. Thing that we get told a lot when we first start doing pixel art is to learn the value of a pixel. And I think that's really important. It's really easy to treat pixel art the same way you would treat any sort of other drawing program and just like zoom out with like a lot of pixels and start just drawing with your stylus. Weirdly enough, I normally use a tablet for my drawings, but today I'm going to be just using my mouse. I'm just going to be using a mouse because for pixel art it's really just about the little things. As you can see here, just like with the difference of like 1 pixel here, we can just define a little earring in her ear just with a one little tiny white pixel here. and in this other pose where she's doing the finger guns, because a lot of people think that this specific pose is doing finger guns. You could see just by moving that pixel back a little bit, it just adds a little bit of motion, a little bit of sway to the whole thing. Oh, hi Hunter, how you doing? Very happy to see all of you guys. I need to go back to chat and read stuff every once in a while. I get lost in my in my own thing. But yeah, if anyone's wondering how I know some of you all, it's from our wonderful Discord. It's great. It's amazing. It's how I found this incredible community of artists. Join it. It's completely free and it's great and there's so much cool stuff. Thank you so much, Hunter. But yeah, so yeah, basically, just by learning the little bit of like power that a pixel has, it's kind of like the basis of pixel art. Like just with a couple of pixels, you can make a little face, just a couple of eyes watching you from the dark, and yeah, that's kind of what we're gonna get into today. So I did a little bit of practice with tile work earlier today and got some of this done. I don't think we're going to go this elaborate today because this took me quite a while just to get something like this going. This is a more kind of like a different palette, a more kind of like it's still stylized, but a bit more realistic kind of thing. I think we're going to go a bit more cartoony. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the original Pokemon game. There's this point in progression where a Snorlax is blocking your path. And I thought it'd be very funny to try and take that idea and translate it to the How to Train Your Dragon universe and do a little bit of a top-down kind of thing. Yeah, so let me double check here. How to do it? F2. We'll put the opacity up. So I did this little kind of like sketch idea, and I think we're gonna go with something a little bit like this. I don't know how far we're gonna get and how much we're gonna be able to do because pixel art is quite time intensive. But oh, how can you stylize pixel art? Good question, Stairwell. So basically, pixel art has tons of different styles. I mean, you can try be realistic with pixel art, which is basically what happens when you export a JPEG image of a photograph at a very low resolution. There's tons of different colors, and it tries to mimic reality as much as possible in just a kind of like pixelated format. With stylization, is pretty much the same as when you're drawing. Adding lines, reality doesn't tend to have lines. That's a way of stylization. Choosing what kind of palettes you want to use. A good thing about pixel art that I recommend if you're starting is to use a pretty small palette. You have some over here. Let me do, 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 do. Let me open this up just to show you guys. In this program, for example, you have like palettes like this one, which is just basically four colors. Things like this are very useful when what you're trying to do is learn. Because you know, just with four colors, you can do a lot of stuff. But yeah, no. Today we're gonna use a little bit more. I'm gonna try to keep it fairly contained. I'm going to try and work with just a couple of values, and but yeah, all those choices, all those constraints that you put on yourself when you're working, that's kind of what stylization is. Like it's just a set of rules that you put on yourself as an artist. So yeah, I think we're just gonna get onto it. I'm going to put this opacity back down. And I think we're going to start with a little bit of what's more exciting. I think we should start with a little bit of sprite work. Let's figure out Hiccup. He's going to be from the back. And yeah. Okay. And here we go. Okay, so we're gonna start with Hiccup, just to kind of like get an understanding of the size we're working with. I like the idea of this being like the screen on the one of those old Game Boys, showing my age a little bit. But yeah, like the idea of like this being the screen of one of those old Game Boys, and we're controlling our little Hiccup in the Isle of Berg, and he's just doing a little bit of exploration and finds himself in front of a giant, round, cute ass Gronkle. Uh, if you're not familiar with How to Train Your Dragon, it's it's got some of the best dragon designs I've seen in media. They're incredibly exaggerated and stylized, and they base them on animals you wouldn't think to base a dragon off. This one is very much a bee mixed with a pile of rocks, and I think it's fantastic. So let me just F2 that and lower the opacity a little bit because I kind of do want to have it as a little bit of a reference, just not too much. And we're going to start. So, first things first, let's just, without thinking of color, let's just think of shade. This is the first time, by the way, in my life in which I've ever done pixel art in front of an audience. So yeah, let's see, let's see how this goes. Yeah. So feel free to ask me any questions about the craft or about myself. I'll be happy to respond. And I also brought myself some coffee because, not some coffee, some tea, for the caffeine because, yeah, I'm in Europe at the moment. So well, at the moment I live in Europe. So this is gonna be going up until 12 a.m. my time, which means that I might get a little sleepy, and I'm gonna try not to get too sleepy. Hence the tea. Do, 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 do. Yes, it is a How to Train Your Dragon pixel art stream. Venomizer Toothless. That's pretty good. Yeah. What's my favorite color? They kind of switch around through time, but at this point, my favorite color I would say is a mustard yellow. I'm very into mustard yellows now. So yeah. So basically, I'm just coming up with a little bit of a rough kind of like shape here for the back of Hiccup's hair. So we're gonna sadly see our little boy from the back. He's such a funny little lad. I don't know about you guys, but I think I was at the perfect age when the first movie came out. Um, and like I really felt very much identified with Hiccup. So that is to this day one of like my most cherished movies. I really like the way he's kind of like, like this outcast in society that finds that his way of looking at the world is not only useful but actually quite good, makes the world a better place. Love stories about how compassion is better than anything else, really, like trying to understand the people that we call enemies in order to realize that maybe we're not so different. Very cool message. Great movie. Do, 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 do. Uh, Perhaps know of the obscure show League of Super Evil. I do not, sadly. I'm really sorry. Venomized Toothless. You just started your kiddo on the books. Yes. Oh man, the books have such wonderful illustrations as well. It's really lovely. I really did. It's a really strange adaptation because it's very different from the books, the film, but I feel like in spirit it really matches the energy of the books quite well. The funny, chaotic energy that the books have and the message of compassion. It's a great film, and I know a new live action one is coming up. I'm not a big fan of live action remakes, but I do hope it's good because it's an excuse for another generation to get into How to Train Your Dragon, and I'm not going to complain about more How to Train Your Dragon fans being around. That can only be a good thing. So yeah, I'm just trying to get a little silhouette for Hiccup, the back of his hair and his little brown vest. As you can see, a lot of this like early stages, it's generally just like pixel carving. A thing that makes pixel art feel very much like pixel art, especially in this kind of like setup that I'm trying to do, because I'm doing what's called a top-down perspective. So something like this is a side scroller perspective where we're seeing things from the like a 90-degree angle to the side. I'm trying to do something more like this, where we're seeing everything from the top. It's a weird projection, and a lot of the perspective isn't accurate because you're kind of stylizing the projection of perspective. But it's very nostalgic because a lot of early hits like Pokemon, which we're specifically trying to imitate here, but also things like I'm thinking Link to the Past. I think it's the Legend of Zelda that's also like a top-down kind of thing. So like a lot of like even the first Legend of Zelda actually, now that I think about it, is top-down perspective. So like a lot of retro games have this kind of like look to them. So yeah, Hiccup has a really funny hair in the first movie. Oh, hi. But yeah, so basically that's kind of like what we're trying to figure out here, like carving a little bit around the things. I'm trying to be quite efficient with my time, but I'm getting distracted with talking. I don't know how far we are going to be able to get into this project, by the way, guys, because it is my first time really doing one of these solo streams where I'm the one talking and the one drawing at the same time. I've done a couple of like classes and things like that, but never really like with the goal of entertaining as well as doing art. So yeah, let's hope it turns out okay. But yeah, basically great freaking movie. Very excited about the new parks that just opened up. I'm hoping they're in the state. They're not in the state, so I can actually go visit them. But I'm like they look amazing. I've been seeing some stuff on social media. I don't know if you guys are aware, but they did a theme park based on the Isle of Berg, and I'm absolutely loving everything that I'm seeing. Like it's looking quite amazing. I feel like I'm not very much a roller coaster or ride person. I'm kind of a chicken when it comes to roller coasters and things like that. So my favorite thing to do is just walk around the parks. So anytime like the theme of the theme park, the theme part, that's the one I'm really into. So yeah, anything that's like putting animatronics or like decorating things in interesting ways, that is all like straight up my alley. So the new one is looking quite good in that sense. So yeah, I'm gonna stop with little Hiccup here. I think this is an okay kind of thing. I don't know if I want to chibify him this much. Maybe I do want to make him a bit taller. It's just a lot of these games have these very kind of like short characters. Maybe I want to stretch him out and not make him like chibi, and like actually like show him as more of like a well proportioned character. Let's try that out a little bit. See how that goes. I was going for the more kind of like big head, tiny body thing, just because it's how a lot of characters are like look in the early Pokemon games, and that's kind of what we're trying to imitate. I think this might work though. I'm pretty sure the reason characters are like that in those older games is because of tiles. I don't know if you guys know this. I actually have a tile map thing going on here. But yeah, in those early games, like everything is basically made up of tiles, like in the background and stuff, like these little blocks as you can see, these are 16 by 16 pixels. These they're made up of tiles, and a lot of the characters and the Pokemon and the different like items and trees and everything were just like one tile big. So I think that's kind of what inspired those very like small kind of like things, kind of like chibi-esque proportions. Okay, let me actually look through, through chat a bit. You guys are going crazy. um do games like Hotline Miami that keep a perfect top down perspective as well. Yeah, Hotline Miami has a literal like top down perspective, because this we're kind of like faking a little bit of a angle, whereas Hotline Miami is like straight looking down. um What's your second favorite DreamWorks film? Ooh, that's an interesting question. I don't know. I'm not religious, but I really like Prince of Egypt. I think like it's a very emotional and well animated one, but I'm gonna have to say Shrek 2 just because it's it's a brilliant film and it's very funny and the message is great and yeah, the music drops in this film are the needle drops are fantastic. To are you Vi? I'm pretty sure I remember this being your user. That is for someone else. Oh, Transformers Prime. Haven't seen that show. And sorry guys, I'm just I'm just going through chat a little bit. And my partner saying I love you. Thank you for tuning in. I love you too. That's not Pixelrama. No, I'm actually using Aseprite. It's a paid software, but it's a very good one. Like because it's you can download it through Steam. So I suggest if you have like any sort of Steam credits or if you're interested in doing pixel art professionally and you want to invest something into it, it's yeah, it's really good. It's quite a good software. I recommend adding it to your like favorites, and when it comes on sale, you can see it like with normal games on Steam. But yeah, okay. Uh, oh, the new Universal Era. Yeah, yeah. What's life? Yeah, I really want to go. It looks very very good. It really does. Okay. So if you're tech savvy, you can also compile free from their GitHub. This is I'm just reading out loud some conversations from chat. I'm gonna go back to the pixel art. But yeah, I love how you guys just talk amongst each other. I am very lost, but okay. So I think I've used GitHub a little bit. Well, I haven't personally used it, but I've uploaded stuff for GitHub for some jobs and things. Not a coder, so yeah, I think make him a little more lanky. That is giving Hiccup energy, right? Like movie one, kind of like Hiccup energy. I think so, right? No. Hmm. See, a lot of this is literally just cutting out stuff and testing out. This preview window is also very helpful because it allows you to see things from a bit more afar when you're working on like the nitty gritty. Also, this weird color things is just because of the sketch layer above. But yeah, I think that's a good place to start with Hiccup. And I'm gonna move on to do a little bit of tiling for a tile map. I think so. I want there to be this giant, like, I think you can see it here. Let me do. I want there to be this big kind of like Burke house here in the background, like those kind of like awesome biking house. Oh, peg leg. Okay, I'll do the peg leg. I'll do the peg leg. I wasn't gonna do the peg leg because I was thinking this is like beginning of the movie Hiccup. But if we get enough peg leg in chat, then I'll have no choice but to do his little mechanical leg. But yeah, like I want to have this kind of like Viking house here with the Gronkle just sleeping there, and maybe place something with the cliff sides or something like that, because Burke is like very much like a frozen wasteland cliffy area kind of thing. So yeah, maybe play around with the stuff like that. But yeah, I think we're gonna get onto some of the tiling. I think it's a fun thing to show on stream. If I see it's taking too long, then I'll move on to get the characters just so we can finish the dragon, because that's I think that's what everyone wants to see. But I do want to show off the tile map kind of like thing. So there's a ton of different software that have like different ways of doing tile mapping. In this case, I'm using Aseprite, like I've mentioned before, and it has a very particular way of doing it, which I've been experimenting with for the past 2 days. So I kind of want to show it off. So let's start by getting rid of a couple of tiles here. So basically, I'm gonna want to have this kind of like two tiles here going up to the center, and let me recenter Hiccup while I'm at it. There you go. Fantastic. So we're gonna have like a couple of path blocks there, kind of like, path tiles over there. And I'm thinking maybe here to the sides we might have like a little bit of like drops and stuff. So yeah, but let's start with those path tiles. As you can see when I click on here, you can see the tiles there. So here's the normal color picker to the side, and here's my tile color picker. Right now I've done one with just a flat color. So I'm gonna work through that to get some kind of like tileable paths, and then basically I can just, it's kind of like Minecraft really, like you design the blocks and then you kind of place them. So yeah. Do. Oh yeah. That could be a fun AU, alternate universe. You get Hiccup meeting different dragons that aren't the Night Fury. But yeah, okay. Let me get, I'm on my other monitor. I have this app called PureRef. You guys can see, and basically it's a very helpful thing. It just opens a little window where you can drop images from pretty much anywhere. Like you don't need to download them, you just drop them from your browser. And I've gathered like a bunch of reference, like you can see the Gronkle over here and things like that, just so we can see. I mean, every good artist uses reference. Brilliant, amazing, incredible artists that you look and you're unbelievably, some of them don't, but like most good artists use references because it's just really good. It makes your life easier, and and it really allows you to focus on the important things, so yes, okay, let's do a little bit of path. Haha, how exciting. So I'm thinking, and just because it's Burke, I'm thinking of doing like big stones kind of thing. So I'm gonna put these two here. For now, this kind of like pale green is going to be like my back collar kind of thing. Like I'm thinking doing some sort of like large stones. Maybe something like this, but a bit more jagged, so we could have a little bit of variation. I'm doing tiles to begin with, but we might change from like tiles is just, I mean, we're not really doing a game, so I don't need tiles necessarily, but I think it's a good way of getting something down fast and then being able to duplicate it a bunch. I could then go on to kind of like change that and fix it manually. As you can see, just from that, we get two more tiles now, left and a right kind of thing. This is kind of what you use for this kind of stuff. Oh, a little late to the stream. We're basically doing how to train your dragon in pixel art. So welcome. But yeah, you can see like just by doing that, I got like these two things here to the side. So yeah, let's try to make a little like kind of like stones here. I want to try use as few colors as I can for most of it, and I've chosen this palette that feels a little washed out because I think that kind of, I mean, that kind of makes me think of like old consoles. You also have very bright ones, but I don't know, it feels comfy. Gonna just with this very color, I'm gonna give it like a little bit of texture to the rock over here, something like this. Yeah, just a little something to the edge. And yeah, maybe I'm gonna add a shadow color. This is a bit too harsh, is it? Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I'm trying basically to use as few colors as I can. I think is going to be the goal here. I think, yeah, I think like, yeah, something like that. Just like a big stone basically, with a little bit of three-dimensionality by adding this kind of like line over here. We're kind of implying that it's like got a bit of depth on this end. I think this works well. I'm gonna do a little bit more playing around with the shines here too. imply that roughness, that very rocky kind of texture. And I think you can see me scrolling back and forth constantly like a maniac. Such dedication to less stoned, yes. So yeah, so the great thing about this is that now I can just do this. I can literally go all the way up here with this one and then come all the way down here, and now we just got a stone path. So what I'm going to do to tile this a bit further now is I'm going to kind of like make them connect a little bit. So I'm sure there's a shortcut to do this better, but I don't know how to do it yet. So I'm going to brute force it, which is great. We love brute forcing these programs. Okay, so a little bit of something like this, where I'm going to be connecting this one up top to this one down here, so we get like a little bit of yeah, just like a little bit of a rock, like little rocks to the side basically. And then as we go up, they're going to be tiling as well. And let's add a little bit of shine to these little rocks over here. Okay, so now if we do this, you can see how like the rocks kind of connect. Very simple kind of tiles. I don't love how this one connects. I'm gonna delete a couple of pixels from here. Yeah, I think that's better. Okay, let's see now. Let's do that. And then this. I'm just seeing it in my head, but the best way to do it is to literally put it here. Yep, that works. Cool. So now we got like a bunch of little rocks. So fancy, so nice. Yeah, you can see that obviously they repeat a lot. Like it's a very repetitive kind of texture, and it might even be a bit too showy. So let's give it another go here, because I think they're they seem too important. I think I spend too much time on these rocks. I'm gonna make them a lot less important than they are, and we're gonna make it a lot more of a subtle texture. I think that's another thing. I think pixel art is very good for learning hierarchy. Cause yeah, cause like we could have those rocks like that, and they work, like they look fine, they look really good as rocks, but within the story of what is like the entirety of the you know scene that we're creating here, they take away too much of your attention, because they're a bit too important in the frame, because we've given them a little bit of shading and shine and stuff. So I'm gonna go very minimalistic with it now and see what the difference is if I do something more like this. Let us grab. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit, just imply the three-dimensionality by doubling up on those ones that go down here, and then a little bit of this. I'm gonna go instead for some like more packed together, like more close together, kind of like rocks. And just by like I think this is called dithering, where you like leave space, blank space between them. Just through that, I'm hoping that it's kind of like helping me imply a little bit of like, yeah, they're together, but there's not like a full shadow that's forming there, kind of thing. I don't know. Let's see. And then I gotta do a little bit of this here, so this one connects. Painting rocks in pixel art. This is riveting content, everyone. So glad you could all make it. Oh man. Okay. Let's try this. Something like this. Sometimes you just wing it and then hope for the best. Okay. So let's see if this connects. Okay, that connects well, and that connects well. Fantastic. Okay, so now we just did the same thing a lot faster, and you can see now. Yeah, I think that works a lot better, because it takes our attention away a lot less from the rest of the thing. And this is going to be quite a subdued kind of like palette as well. So I'm wanting to not overload your eye too much. So I think this might be good. I might even take out some of those connecting lines actually, and just do even more implication and less lines. See, this is the fun thing about pixel art. Sometimes less is more, and like literally less, like this. Because yeah, right now we're like, we want our eye to be focused on the characters, so I think I want the characters to be the more complex things where we put a lot of work and effort into them, and everything else is a bit more just backgroundy. So yeah, I think this is great. We have a path, ladies and gentlemen. Do. Okay, fantastic. So yeah, we got a path. Celebration. Please. Thank you. Everyone starts shooting off fireworks. Okay, so let's do a little bit of a grass plug over here. I'm just doing this to like make sure that I know what the constraints, what the exact constraints of this are. So this is a bit dark, isn't it? Let me try pick a color. This is nice and desaturated. Okay, let's do a little bit. I'm just gonna do a little bit of like just cute round little grass blades. Just, yeah, this is nice. You can do incredibly like incredibly detailed pixel art. You can do things that are very high fidelity and stuff like that, but I guess because that is very similar to what I do when I draw. When I'm doing pixel art, I'd rather do some things like this. I find this a lot more interesting. So now we have this little grass tile, and what I'm gonna do is just sprinkle it out throughout the composition a little bit. And I'm gonna do a little alternative one. Alternative, I said alternative, weird. I'm gonna do a little alternative one. Let's do one where there's two blades of grass instead. Not two blades, but two like little clumps. You guys know what I mean. Two little blade clumps. Okay. Don't want to miss this cute, this cool artwork. Philly the silly. I don't know if you're being sarcastic, but if you are, that is very funny. Okay. Maybe a little something here. A little something. You see how like how much just a one pixel can really add to a composition? Like this is maybe let's lower you down. If we lower you here, we can imply a little bit of roundness there. See, just one pixel, and it works so well. The power of le pixel, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's put some grass here, some grass there, some grass everywhere. Most of this is gonna end up being covered up by other stuff, but let's just sprinkle some grass. This is the great thing about tiling. I don't need to start copy pasting a bunch of things. I can just tile up the things. Yes, it has a lot of constraints, but I feel like working with those constraints is a very fun thing to try and do. So yeah, okay, so we got a bunch of grass and we got a path. So I'm thinking before we get on to, because a lot of the Gronkle and the house behind him is going to be very detailed, well, not detailed, but like very like a one-off kind of drawing, and I want to stick with the tiling a bit more. So I think I'm gonna create like a couple of like kind of like drop-offs here. There's this very weird perspective that old games use where you can see both the front and the side, because like mountain drop-offs are like kind of like sloped. I don't know if I want to do that yet, so I'm going to start by making the side of the dirt, and I could go with this. Yeah, I like this purpley brown for it. I think that works. Okay, so let me locate the tiles. Okay, so this is kind of a tile. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, I'm deleting the tiles just so I could understand the constraints of what a tile is, basically. Yes, there's a sketch on top of it, actually. Yeah, let me... So basically, before we even started streaming, I was running through a bunch of ideas, and this is kind of like the idea that we're going for. So yeah, there is just a little bit of a sketch. So you can see here actually what I'm saying about like the sloping sides. When I look at like my reference from the old like Pokemon Snorlax thing, you can see those little slopes to the side of the mountain kind of thing. Obviously, size is very weird in these earlier games. Like the way they really like work with proportions and size is all wonky. Like I'm not gonna draw a whole mountain in a little bit of thing because I think it kind of it works better in these pieces if like you keep like you can still play around with it, but like keep it a bit more consistent with the sizes and the scales. I might drink a cup. I'm still not sure about that, but yeah, let's try to do the side of the cliff. I think that's pretty fun. Yeah, top-down perspective, like Link to the Past, exactly. Yeah, the idea is doing. Size is weird. Thank you, Stairwell. You can keep track of odd quotes. Feel free to do that. I actually have a group of friends. We play D&D and things like that together, and we do have a channel in our Discord that is exclusively for weird quotes that people say out of context, and it's quite funny. I'm not going to lie. So yeah, let's do a little bit of a crinkly kind of like shadow here from like the grass. I kind of like the idea of the grass popping out a little bit. Yeah. So just a little bit of this. Maybe maybe make the blades a bit chunkier, a bit more cartoony. But yeah, I think I think this is. No, that looks weird. Maybe a bit more diagonal. So as you can see, maybe pixel art wasn't the best thing to stream because a lot of it is very kind of minutia and minute work, especially if you're used to doing like drawings and things like that or paintings and stuff. A lot of pixel art is the parts where you go in and do cleanup. uh which is it's curious. I'm not a big fan of rendering. I like staying in the sketching phase, but there's something about pixel art just having those sets of rules and those like little constraints that makes it somehow fun to focus on all the minutia. It kind of like if you manage to do it right and you keep that like stylistic consistency, you can really see like the results can really like pop. And yeah, I think I like that a lot about it. Do 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 do. Another person that plays D&D. Yeah. I feel like a lot of the instructors in the instructors in the server are a bunch of nerds in different ways. I think Jessie is well known for playing D&D. She's got this character who's a dragonborn and not a kobold, even though I keep thinking it's a kobold. Um, and yeah, I think she draws him a lot in streams and things like that. I think that's pretty good. That's looking very dirt like, right? Let's see if an orange with this would look good. Might pop too much. I want to keep it more monochrome than that. I know it looks cool, but I really yeah, I really want to keep it a bit more monochrome than that. Um, Maybe a little bit of dithering to create like a. Is this what dithering is? I don't remember the pixel art terms. Maybe a little bit of that. Yeah, I think a little bit of this works to kind of like imply an in between color between those two. So this is kind of like so this is a thing that was used when color variety was not uh, readily available in early video games in order to create kind of like transitional colors. I don't know if it works. I don't actually like it. No, I'm gonna say no. Completely undo everything I just did. Let's go. Yeah, I don't think it works. I think this magenta might be a bit too dark. Let's try it out. Let's try doing a little bit of this here. Hmm, it's not looking that bad. I'm gonna be creating a little bit of a a mud wall up there. It's not horrible. I don't know. Maybe it is too dark. Maybe it takes too much attention away. Do we have a lighter kind of color that's also that? Maybe this one. Let's try you out. Let's try you out. But yeah, I don't know what I was talking about. But yeah, no, a lot of our the instructors are huge nerds like me, and it is kind of fun to see what we're all into. Um, Iggy shares my love of miniatures, and they make some really cool like Gundam and things like that. Ooh, sorry, I was in film mode. Okay, so house. Yeah, yeah, I think that works a lot better. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with this one for the dirt cliff, rocky cliff thing. Yeah, I think we're going with this one. Okay, I'm gonna make another one down here. That's going to be another version of this. So I could go in and be a bit more, or I could just do this and call it a day. No, I think I'm gonna do a different one. Um, just because it's more fun. And here I'm gonna work from the opposite. Oops, again, fill tool. And how did you get to 4? That's weird. Okay. So, yeah, no, a bunch of us instructors are very big nerds, and it is kind of great. We share a lot of hobbies and things like that. So yeah, you flipped the art you were working on stairwell. Yeah, yeah, that happens. Yeah, Kevin's right. This is literally what a lot of pixel art is. Again, like with a lot of traditional art, and whenever I do, I think we're doing a stream this month. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kevin, but I think we're doing a character design stream this month. And by we, I mean I am doing a character design stream this month. For that one, it's a lot more time is going to be spent on sketching and getting like larger shapes and actually drawing anatomy and things like that. A lot of pixel art is just the back and forth kind of like grueling experience. I don't know. There's something weirdly therapeutic about it, I think, and that's why I like it as much as I do. But yeah, hope I'm holding some interest here. By the way, let me know if I'm just being absolutely boring. But yeah, haven't done one of these art streams before, so I'm not 100% sure I'm doing things correctly. Um, yeah, that's kind of I don't know if I love this. I'm gonna stick to the grout lines thing I had going on before. I think yeah, we're doing. Undertale vibe from the drawing. Thank you. Yes, I'm going for something more like that, where it's like a lot more minimalistic when it comes to the pixel art. Ooh, prop design. That's fun. Yeah, I feel like yeah, that's the thing. Like Kevin is saying in chat, like that's the kind of thing. Like I always feel bad about erasing, my drawings. With pixel art, I really don't. Um, I guess especially when you're working on such small kind of like spaces, you kind of feel like you can just like if I delete that pixel, I know how to put it back exactly where it was as well. Like if I regret my decisions, like I know exactly what I need to do to put them back where they are. And I don't know, there's some like yeah, you do feel a bit more free about like deleting things and letting things go and experimenting as well. I'm trying to not use lines for this drawing, for example. And now I'm doing this grout here in the bottom, and I'm starting to like it more than the one in the top. I think both of them have a place. I don't think I need either or, but I might do rounder shapes in this one as well. So yeah, like the idea is going to be to have like some cliffs going through here. Um, Yeah, that doesn't tile because yeah. Yep, that does not tile. Oh well. But yeah, no, I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna redo this one a little bit. Let's redo you tiny little bit. Doop doop doop. I'm deleting them while I'm doing that because I know there's like I know because I watched the tutorial on it, and I know there's a way of editing a tile where it applies to all the other tiles. I don't remember how to do it, so I'm brute forcing it right now because I'm not gonna. Normally, what I would do if I was just working on my own is just go onto like YouTube and watch whatever like tutorial or look it up on Google. But I feel like right now I'm better off just improvising a little bit because it's a lot better for the stream if I just stop drawing and go look things up. We're gonna be here all day, you know. But yeah, a big part of like doing any kind of digital art, I feel, is like learning the program that you're using, getting used to its quirks, and kind of finding your methodology and your way around it. But a lot of the stuff we teach, especially in our classes and things like and in the YouTube videos, it kind of applies to everything. I think that's the best way of kind of like learning art when you're focusing on fundamentals. You can kind of apply them to a lot of different works. Yeah, I think that works. Yeah, I like that a lot more. I think that's better than the one we had. Yeah, see how rocky that feels? That's really nice. That's really nice. And yeah, I think this two-tone approach is really giving it a very interesting character. Also, don't worry, Hiccup's not going to be green. I just I just started with green for some reason. But yeah, I'm doing amazing. Thank you, What is Life? That's really nice. Thank you very much. And yeah, Kevin is the goat. Thank you, Kevin, for sticking around and helping me in this first stream. But yeah, no, honestly, Quinn, go try it out. There's a lot of programs that allow pixel art. I believe, correct me, Kevin, but I believe we're gonna do a video actually, going through a few of the programs that you can use to do pixel art, and I'm gonna be testing them out and letting you know what like their pros and cons are and stuff like that. So that's gonna be pretty interesting and pretty fun. Um, so now that we have this here, I'm thinking. Oh, I need to switch this around. There we go. So now that we have this here, I'm thinking that I kind of. I'm thinking that I kind of want to do the vertical. Like I don't know if I want to do the slopes, the side slopes. I think I might just want to cut this off here. Let's see. Let's put a little bit of grass here as just a test down here, and then I might want to create just like a kind of like tile that just like gives off the idea that there's a drop there without making it a drop. Let's try it out. Let's try doing this. Let's see how that would work. Maybe using this to kind of create a little line of grass. But then as soon as we go off of the cliff, that's gonna look kind of weird. Yeah, it's fine. We have full control here. We can just extend the rocks a bit more down. And again, a lot of tiling originates from wanting to save space in early games. Early video games, they were they were very much constrained on how much space you could put in a cartridge, and so tiling is a way of like repeating the same image over and over again to kind of like build a world through a one like block rather than so like instead of putting an entire image inside a cartridge, which is a lot of space, you would put these little images and then you would put a line of code with the numbers. Like you can see here when I press control, those numbers, you would basically just do that, write those numbers into the code, and that would be describing your entire scene and telling the computer where to put each one of these tiles without having to insert the entire image, which would take up a lot more space. So that's kind of cool. Do, 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 do. Aw, Kevin. Thank you so much. That's so lovely. Heart to Kevin. Do, 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 do. Yeah, Leo, doing the plan on papers is not a bad idea at all. You can see I started with my little sketch, and that's informing a lot of what I'm gonna do. I did it really quickly, like a little thumbnail in a couple of minutes. It's Yeah, it doesn't take a lot of time, and it saves you a lot of heartache and headaches. Yeah. Does this work if I just tile it down? See, it doesn't exactly work. It doesn't exactly not work. I kind of like it. Now I just need to mirror it, sadly, which does count as a tile, but that's okay. See, let me put this to the side here. This is why I have a pretty big canvas. Let's put this to the side here. Select it and just straight up mirror it. Flip horizontally. So normally you do want to give that like hand touch to everything, like handmade kind of like look to things. But I think that specifically what we're doing today, it works a lot better if we treat it like the way we're treating it, basically like it's an old-fashioned game. Because yeah, it kind of, I feel like it kind of like looks a lot more interesting like this when you can see that repetition, you know? Kind of goes for the vibe that we're looking for a lot more. So if I go here and do a little bit of that, okay. I'm still not super happy about this tile though. Let me actually polish it a little bit. So it has this weird pixels over here. Literally creating three new ones. Okay. So I don't love that. Yeah, I want to give it more of a thing where like they can connect. Yeah, I want them to be able to connect. And a little bit of this. So much minutia with this. Oh, that's the one. This is the rogue pixel over here. There we go. Oh, is this color better? Is that color? That's a bit too muted. I think we do want to see the cliff sides a little bit, right? Yeah, we do. I think. Yeah, yeah. That connects a lot more. And here we can see in our little preview. Yeah, yeah. I think that connects a lot more. Whew. That is generally starting to see how like just from the tiling and the kind of like muted color, like that generally looks like the screen of like an old little thing. Hey, Darren's back. Welcome, 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 welcome. Nope, that wrong tool. I wanted to draw, not the fill. The amount of times I'm gonna do that on the stream, accidentally stick around on fill. We should keep a tally, honestly. Okay, now we flip horizontal. Now we got this guy over here. Go back to the do. Fantastic. Okay, let's give it one space so we can have a bit more grass there. That is looking cool. I'm liking this. I think this is good. I think this is looking quite good. Okay, so obviously we still have all of the details and the little things to add. I So Burke, when I look at my oh, thank you very much. When I look at my reference of Berg, I see a little bit of like wooden struts and like hanging bridges. I don't think we can fit a hanging bridge here, but I could do maybe a little bit of like a wooden, like broken wooden floor kind of vibe to kind of like sit the house on like a bit more of a foundation. I think I could do. Yeah, so I'm gonna try do that. Let's try create something like that with a couple of these guys. Yeah, let's try this out. Okay. So, let's see something. I think this scholar. Yeah, so it's different enough from the path, and again, like low contrast enough. Thank you, Joe. We literally just started a couple. Oh wait, no, we started an hour ago. Time is flying past. Okay, okay. I need to pull my pants up and get to work. Pull my pants up. That is not the expression. Pull my bootstraps out. Something like that. I don't know. Let's try create like a little bit of a wood. Don't want the wood to be too perfect though. To like to be a little bit of roundness in the edges. Um, hmm. Yeah, I do not want those meeting. Nope, 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 nope. Don't want them to connect. Yeah, 1 hour left. I gotta lock in. I really gotta lock in. Okay, let's not be too precious about the wood, actually. Let's just get some wood paneling kind of like feel. Um, yeah, kind of like with the stones, I kind of just want to imply a lot rather than show it specifically, you know? Um, yeah, let's just actually let's come in. That's fine. Don't mind coming in here. Um, yeah, okay, and then okay. So now what I'm going to do is round off these kind of edges to kind of imply a little bit of depth. And the problem is this is going to loop with that. I did not think of the looping. Ho ho ho, I did not think of that, did I? No, sir, I did not. Okay, let's move you up a little bit like that. That's cool. Okay, that's better. Let us just whoop and call you in. Yeah, I'm not a very fast pixel artist. I'm not a very fast artist in general. I feel like I'm only fast when I'm getting paid by the hour, which is when you don't want to be fast. That's the only time when I find myself being very fast at art. Whenever I'm doing a job and getting paid hourly, that's then for some freaking reason I speed up a lot. But otherwise, I tend to be quite slow. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's just me, but I like listening to music a lot when I'm working. I play like podcasts or music or video essays is a thing I play a lot. So really big fan of video essays. Learn about culture and politics and history while I'm drawing. Fun stuff. Sometimes a bit depressing though. You gotta watch out. History is not exactly a cheery topic. But yeah, no. Sometimes it's really fun though. Okay, so this needs to connect to this. So you're going to go like that. And I'm just gonna go like this. Okay, this should not be as hard as I'm making it out to be. Okay, but then this one is gonna come out too thick, so I need to move these down a little bit. So you're gonna move down like this, and you're gonna move up by one as well. I think that should be good. Learn the shortcuts of your program as well. Um, I'm still in the process of getting used to them because I haven't used Aseprite for a while. Like I literally started using it back up like this Saturday just to do a little bit of practice for this stream specifically. So I'm a bit rusty on them, but yeah, gonna save you time. Okay, so this kind of works. We need a topper for that. Yeah, that works pretty well. We might want to do a middle one. But yeah, we just need a little bit of a topper there. Yeah, looks like some little wooden struts. Let's extend you here by one. Let's try create like a middle bit there, and do the same here? Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, maybe we don't do the same there. Actually, weirdly enough, if I just keep that outside one, this one doesn't seem to need to be filled up as much, does it? No, it kind of looks okay like that, doesn't it? What I do need is to change the spacing to the side one. Ha ha ha. So it doesn't collide with the rocks and does a tangent line, because even though we're doing pixel art, tangents are bad in every universe. Fear the tangent, for the tangent will come and get ya. We do not like tangents. Okay, so here we go. There we go, that's better. No tangents. Should I do the little... I'm gonna do the little things. Yeah, little nails. Fun. Love those. Okay. So, yeah. So we're almost done with the wooden planks. Oh man, I'm a mess. Okay, we're almost done with these. That's perfect. We just need to do a couple more over here. And once we're done with this, I think we're basically on to just characters and props, which is good because we just hit the 1 hour and most of our environment is done. We have a like a kind of like a little bit of a mock-up of our main character. The dragon's gonna take a bit longer, but I'll do my best, and so is the house. Maybe this was too much. We'll see. I'm gonna delete these here so we can see the sketch a little bit better. But yeah, I think this is good. I'm gonna now just swap these tiles into toppers, or bottomers, question mark. Basically just like gonna stop the planks here. To create like, instead of the looping one, just the end loop, the end of the loop. That's gonna, as you can see here to the side, become a different tile as I do this. But there we go. So now we can create the bottom one. That's perfect. And then I'm moving this bottom one into here. That's great. And then we just need to make a little bit of a middle one here to connect the two. So this one connects over here. I just do a little bit of a line here, a little bit of a line there. There we go. That's the middle one. Fantastic. Fan-freaking-tastic. Should we do... Let's do a cut. Cuts are fun. Let's do a cut there. With a little... There you go. Fantastic. Amazing. Okay. So now we've kind of done with these. Yeah, the problem with pixel art is you can always make it better. Okay, so we're kind of done with these. So now we can move on. I think I'm gonna start with the dragon, because we might not have time to finish it otherwise. Okay. So let's start with the Gronkle. I'm glad I chose the Gronkle and not the Night Fury. I think we could be here all day if I chose the Night Fury. That one's very elaborate. Yeah, so for Hiccup, I'm generally thinking of making him tinier. I think it looks funnier if he's tinier in comparison as well to the dragon. But yeah, let's start with the dragon. I'm gonna create a new layer. Bloop, bloop, bloop. And for the Gronkle, I was saving these reds and these browns for the Gronkle because I want him to kind of like stand out a little bit. And then we might do like, yeah, Gronkle is literally just a blob. Yeah, tangents with limited palettes can really screw you over because yeah, it's like, again, like you gotta think very well where you're putting your pixels and stuff like that. Especially the fewer colors you have. And I did this test earlier. I'm really happy we didn't go with this. I think this took me like 3 hours just to do this, and it really wasn't that, like, it's not that much work, but like, yeah, I'm really glad we went with the more. Also, I think this has a lot more character and it's a lot more fun. So I'm gonna also lower the opacity of the tile map layer. Not too, there you go, just a little bit so we can see the sketch better. Just for now. Actually, I'm just gonna erase the tile map layer so we can work on this. Just so I don't get too many distractions. with the lines. So let me pull up my Gronkles. Dragon time, everyone, dragon time. Let me pull my Gronkle references. This guy is so funny looking. I love him. Well, I forgot that he had tiny wings in his head as ears. That's freaking great. Okay, I'm literally drawing this with my mouse right now, but I'm gonna do a little bit again, like perspective. Like I'm basically like I'm not gonna draw him in a very um like with Hiccup, I have him being like almost symmetrical and stuff, and like he's got very clean pixels, I would say. Whereas with the Grunkle, I'm going with like a lot more organic shapes. I wanna make like a big organic Grunkle. Like this is more of like a quote unquote realistic pixel art. It's gonna look like. Because yeah, no, I really want to emphasize his existing fun shapes, and it would ironically take me more time to stylize him too much more. So yeah, it's actually a lot faster to do this kind of thing than to go ahead and stylize him more than he already is stylized. Which he is. He's greatly stylized. This is a great design. I really love the designs in these movies. They're so good. Okay, so big jowl moment. He's gonna be very happy. He's always kind of smiling, in his, isn't he? Got a devious smile, but a smile regardless. Let's just create this line for his closed eye over here. And a lot of the work is gonna come in later to refine these big shapes that I'm like establishing right now. Like a lot of it is gonna be making them not look so bad, basically. But yeah, no, I'm literally just like drawing with my mouse at this point of the process. Let's get this jowl correct. He's got a big jowl. There we go. Is that big enough? Maybe bigger. Maybe bigger and rounder, actually. Is that? I think that's good. I think that's pretty good. Okay, and then he's gonna have like these wart-like protrusions all over it. Yeah, it's so hard to draw a circle with your mouse. Actually, what am I saying? I have this on my tablet. I could literally just do this with my with my pen tool. Oh, thank you very much, David. And thank you, Indigo. He's a funny lad. Okay. Yeah, let's do like a little. Oh, this is so much faster. Okay, there we go. And he's got little protrusions all over the place. So let's do this and this and this. Fantastic. Now for the ears. He's got little bat wings as ears. That is hilarious. Yep, the designs in this game are absolute gold. Absolute gold. Okay, in this game, on this, on this movie, Uh, not a game. It is very much not a game, Mr. Bond. Okay. No, 1 pixel, please. Thank you. Nope. That is not what I want. I want 1 pixel. Thank you. Okay, fantastic. Yes, okay, so that's the head. I think I'm gonna chibify him a little bit and make his body smaller than his head. So like he's even cuter and he looks more like our protagonist is gonna look like by the end. I think this works quite well. See, now because I've done this more kind of like less I say mechanical, like less geometrical kind of line, where it's like a lot more drawn. It does feel a lot more like Yoshi's Island, I think it was, that has like this more drawn kind of like style. But yeah, I think we're going more chibi with the Gronkle. I think I'm gonna like make his body a lot smaller to kind of like sell the idea of him being like this cute little chibi man. So his paws over there, he's gonna be sleeping like this, and his tail is gonna be coming in. But like, I think I want to make his body a lot smaller, maybe like this, less imposing, or more imposing. Should I make it more hunched or less hunched? I think less hunched looks cuter, right? If I go less hunched, I think he looks a lot more chibi. So then the big paw over here, blip, it's gonna be over there. There we go. Big paw, and then the little tail coming in from the back, because he's got this like two balls. Two giant like that sounded horrible. He's got two giant like mace like spheres as a tail. So I think this one is bigger and this one is smaller. Yeah, I think that's very cute. And then his other leg would come up here. There we go. So yeah, I think this is a lot cuter. And I'm gonna exaggerate this spike protrusion things on his tail a lot, because I think that's gonna make him look a tiny bit more intimidating. I don't want him to look very intimidating. At the end of the day, we're going for kind of like a Pokemon-like look. And Pokemon have this thing in their designs where like they're specifically meant to be like friend-looking, friend-shaped. Like, you want a Pokemon, even if they're intimidating, you want them to look like something that you could befriend. And I think that's what made a lot of Pokemon designs very successful. Also, I'm erasing this because I'm gonna chibify him even more. I think I could do a better job of making his face even more adorable. So yeah. So let's exaggerate his nose and his big tooth over here. And let's make this a lot rounder like this. So more like that. There we go. That's perfect. I think that's very freaking cute. And he's smiling, and we're gonna do his little like face warts. It's not a very simple design. So sometimes simplifying a design is a lot harder than adding complexity to it. Like you can see with the challenge I did with the Peach redesign, it was fairly easy to do because of how simple the original sprite is, and because of how simple the original sprite is, you can kind of just like add detail or add ideas into it. Whereas like simplifying something, you have to distill it to like the essence of what makes this design recognizable. That takes a lot more work. So yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah, Grunkles are friends and friend shaped. Yeah, Grunkles are really cute. I feel like very much underappreciated dragon from How to Train Your Dragon is the Grunkle. When I just, as soon as I was thinking through like what I was gonna do today, the idea of like the Gronkle as like the Snorlax of the How to Train Your Dragon world. I know he's not especially sleepy, but it just, I don't know. I feel like he would be very cute as like the Snorlax of the How to Train Your Dragon world. Also, fun thing about How to Train Your Dragon, I don't know if anyone else has noticed, but all the old characters have very thick Scottish accents. All the young characters sound American. I think that's very funny. And I kind of wish we lived in an alternate reality where they made all of those American voice actors put on fake Scottish accents and sound absolutely horrendous. I think that'd be fun. Okay, I want to arch his, so like with there's a thing like when you're smiling and your eyes are closed, you have like this kind of like rainbow shape. I want to emphasize that so he looks happy. There you go. So he looks cute and happy. So yeah, this is not a confrontational scene. He's not gonna face off with the mean Gronkle. He just needs to find a way to gently wake him up so he can proceed. I think that's more the kind of like story that we're going for here. It's a kinder kind of like story. Although I'm pretty sure in the Pokemon one you just need to find a flute or something to wake up the Snorlax. I don't think you had to battle him. Don't know if you battle him after you wake him up though. I never played that Pokemon game. Uh, I'm not that old. Uh, I'm pretty sure the SNES was already like here when I was born. I have no idea what year it came out, but I'm pretty sure it already existed when I was born. So I haven't really played a lot of Pokemon games. I played the newer one, the one that takes place in like Spain like country, which is really cool for me specifically. But I didn't dislike it. I didn't love it though. I don't know. It's the look of it. I don't like how unstylized it looks. Like it's going in a very weird direction stylistically, where like everything is rendered like realistically, and I don't like it very much. I like the more cartoony kind of look more for Pokemon, but aside from that, it was fun. Never finished it, but yee. I have a Switch, so I kind of had to try it out at least, you know. Okay, I think that's a cute ass Gronkle. It's a very cute Gronkle. I think I kind of achieved the chibified look to it. Um, yeah. With the Hiccup, I think I'm gonna give him another pass as well and try to round him up a little more, round him out a little more, make him a bit more compelling. Um, because yeah, I think this I'm really liking how this is looking. Okay, let's see it with the background. Yeah, that's really nice, especially with that color. That's very, very lovely. Okay, let's hide Hiccup because I don't like how Hiccup looks right now. Okay, let's hide that and start trying to render the Gronkle out a bit. I think I might want to keep him in a very sketchy kind of like feel. Like I like how everything's very very pastel. Like I think that's very nice. But I do want him to stand out. I might do a thing. Again, I think I mentioned Joshi's Island. That game has this thing where they have thick outlines for characters. I think it might look good with our little Grunkle guy over here. So let's try it out. Let me first clean up some of the pixel art basically because I've been I've done this with my with my stylus basically, like I was drawing in my tablet. So let's just clean some of these up. Yeah, make it work a little better. I'm happy with this Grunkle, guys. I don't know about you, but I think it's a good Grunkle. Yeah, he looks very cute. Hey Jesse, welcome. We're doing How to Train Your Dragon, but pixel art. We did a little bit of tiling, and now I've decided that instead of a more robotic kind of like, not robotic, I keep saying robotic, but a more mechanical kind of pixel art, I think I'm gonna go with a bit something a bit more loose. And I'm really loving this Gronkle. He's got great energy. Um, but yeah, that's what we're doing right now. He he he. Okie dokie. He's freaking adorable. Yeah, this is my new favorite dragon now. Oh, did you guys know I actually looked incredibly similar to Hiccup when I was his age? Um, I look nothing like Hiccup right now, but I had that same hairstyle of like the really like kind of like long-ish hair with the wavy thing at the top, and I was this tall, lanky kid. So yeah, I looked a lot like Hiccup as a child. Is really funny. I think I need to find it but I think we have a picture because I was watching the movie in the living room, and I think my dad came up and was like, "Is that you?" and like made me stand next to the TV and took a picture for the side by side. So yeah, if I ever find that, I will definitely share it somewhere on the Discord. Ooh, Discord plug. Everybody go to the Discord. Join our Discord. It's great. It's amazing. Great stuff. I really like that it pops down. It makes me very happy. Okay. Back to work. Everyone's serious now. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Okay, so a little bit like this. Um, but yeah, well, I think I'm having a lot of fun with this guy. But yeah, I don't know if we're gonna. I feel like this is the curse of every one of these streams. Just correct me if I'm wrong, but like, do you ever manage to finish what you're trying to do on a stream? I feel like I get distracted talking about things. I'm also kind of like new to gauging how long these things take, so. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Do, do, do. Maybe this. Yeah, that's better shape. Do, 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 do. Yeah. God, he's so cute. He's so happy. He's a happy little guy. I really like him. Okay. So I said I wasn't gonna use lines, but now I'm kind of wanting to use lines. Yeah, I think I'm gonna use lines for the characters and the background. Yeah, because I kind of basically just used the lines for the background too. So yeah, I think I'm gonna use lines. Gonna thick, double thick. I'm gonna thicken double up the line and thicken it on the outside to give it that little like paper craft kind of aesthetic. Actually, with my sketch behind it, it kind of adds a little bit of cool texture. But yeah, like give it that little bit of like double up kind of like thing that again games like Yoshi's Island has. He's so freaking cute. See, I don't at this point. I'm okay if I don't get to finish this in time, cause I got to draw this guy and like I feel like the world is better for it. I mean, look at him. Look at him. He's so happy and so sleepy. He's just in his little world, just sleeping. Oh, Gronkles are just angels, aren't they? I've become a Gronkle fan thanks to drawing Gronkles now. My new favorite dragon. If you're a fan of the How to Train Your Dragon franchise, drop in chat what your favorite dragon is. Like, if you were in that universe, what do you think would be your ride? What dragon would you have as a pet within the How to Train Your Dragon universe? Do, do, do. I feel like when I was younger, I really liked the dragon that Hiccup's mom has in the second movie. I don't ever think I caught the third movie, but I didn't really like the second movie, but I really like the designs and the look of the second movie. It's just the story I wasn't really a big fan of. But yeah, no, I think she's got like this owl looking dragon, and I really like owls, so I was really into that as a kid. I say as a kid, as a teenager, I was into dragons as a teenager, but yeah, no, I think I really, yeah, I think that was what used to be my, what's it called? Like, I forget the name. I knew the names of all these dragons. I was a big How to Train Your Dragon nerd. Do, 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 do. Actually, I even worked, I'm remembering this now, but I even, when I was a lot younger, one of my first experiences doing 3D voxel models was working on a fan project. We were trying to like make the How to Train Your Dragon dragons, but like in Minecraft or something, I think. And we just like did like a bunch of modeling for them and stuff. Yeah, I seem to remember that. That was definitely a thing. Yeah, because I really liked How to Train Your Dragon. And I remember spending hours in creative mode in Minecraft trying to build the little like the little houses from Berg and stuff. This is looking adorable. Cloud Jumper is so cool. Is that what that one's called? The Cloud Jumper? Triple Strike, the Sentinels, the Screaming Death. I know the Screaming Death. I don't know this Triple Strike or the Sentinels, but I do know that it's the Screaming Death. There was a show. There was like a spin-off show that introduced a bunch of How to Train Your dragons. Oh, the Stormcutter. Is that the Stormcutter? I'm trying to, because the Screaming Death is the one that looks like Pac-Man with a tail. I really like the Screaming Death. It's literally like this. It's just like a bunch of spikes. He's like really mean, and he's got just like a cut. That's a Screaming Death right there. That's what that looks like. They're really funny. I think they were supposed to be like the aggressive sort of pseudo bad guys for the show, because I believe there was a show. Man, this is taking me back. I hadn't thought about this franchise for a while, but oof. Really glad you guys picked it. I literally just looked up what kind of like movies and video games were coming out this month. And because there was the live action remake thing going on, I thought, hey, it might be relevant. And then I saw that the new parks opened, and yep, I know where I'm going whenever I have money to go on holiday, because those look insanely fun. Like, wow. I just want to walk through that for a long time. Um, this is too cute. I love this guy. Oh man. I know we spend most of the freaking most of the first hour doing tiling, drawing blades of like blades of grass and rocks and things, but like, yeah, this guy is so cute. I'm really happy we finally got to the fun part. See, sometimes you gotta eat your vegetables first. Whispering Death. Burst a Screaming Death. Oh, the Screaming Death is the big white Whispering Death. Yeah, my bad. See, I didn't. I knew there was like a. Yeah, so with the Screaming Death is like the big mama of like the. Well, not the big mama because he was a child, but like the. Yeah, like the boss version, basically. Like, they kind of look actually like the Guardians from Minecraft. Like, like the big one is pale and the smaller ones are green. That's got to be a coincidence, but I just put that together in my brain and I'm like, damn, that's a fun coincidence. Man, he's so cute. I love him. Yep, this is my new favorite dragon. It's official now. But yeah, also the soundtrack of that movie is absolutely stunning. The first flight song in the first movie. Oof, great. Yeah, more skull than a Pac-Man. Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, they were gray instead of green. I thought they had a green tint to them. I thought they had like a dark green, kind of like indigo tint to them. That must be my memories then. But yeah. Oh my God, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Oh, I'm so happy. Thank you guys for joining me. I was a bit nervous at the start. I don't know if you could tell. I'm a little less nervous now. And a lot more tired. But yeah, no, having a lot of fun. I'm really hoping you guys are enjoying this. I know it's my first stream, and I'm not 100% on what we normally do during these and stuff. Like, I've only attended a couple of streams because the hours don't tend to match with me because European and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm really hoping this is fun for you guys. If nothing else, I hope you guys can just sit down and do some art while you're listening to me ramble about how to train your dragon. But yeah, I seem to remember there was an animated show that sadly didn't have the same quality as the movie because I mean, yeah, the movie is a full feature kind of thing. Um, like Race to the Edge or something like that, or maybe like Adventures of, or maybe there were two animated shows. I don't know, but it was quite fun. I do remember trying to find the episodes online because they weren't playing anywhere, and watching them and seeing all the new dragons, and being there with like with every new episode that released, like a new dragon would appear in the How to Train Your Dragon wiki. and spending time looking through the stats and stuff. Yeah, that was really fun. Do, 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 do. Also, thank you, Jaren, for sticking around and putting up with this. And by this, I mean me. Everyone, a round of applause to Jaren for being an absolute trooper. And to Kevin, which I believe Kevin's left already. But thank you for sticking around with us at the beginning as well. Such a wonderful team we have here. Doop. Yeah, God, he's so adorable. So this is my best. I didn't chibify him that much, but I think I played with the proportions enough that it makes him very, very cute and huggable. I kind of want a plushie now. I want to make a plushie of this little guy. The the designs of the dragons are really interesting. I really love the shape language they use in the movie. I mean, it's most of them are designed by one of my favorite concept artists. They're like also a big part of the Kung Fu Panda movies and stuff. Like they make some incredible concept art. And I think they did a fantastic job because they created these dragons that can both look dangerous and intimidating and really adorable depending on the context. And I think that's what like really makes them so memorable, not just like the wild shapes that they have, but like the fact that at the beginning of the first movie you see them purely as like pests and antagonists, because that's how like our main character sees them. And as you go along, you find that in that kind of like derpiness and silliness that they have, they become more adorable and more like, more creatures that you appreciate and want to cuddle with. And I think that's quite genius, as well as obviously like the parallels between the main like dragons that they introduce and the kind of like group of kid characters. I think that's actually really cool how like each one of them is kind of like, made to resemble one of them. Thank you for the 25-minute warning, Quinn. And yeah, Minecraft art stream. I believe we're doing that this month as well. I'm not exactly sure when. I think it's gonna be 2 Mondays from now. I think we're doing a Minecraft art stream. I think it's 2 Mondays from now. I'll double check on that and do announcements when we have to call it. But yeah, I'm spending way too much on this. He's so adorable though. I want to keep drawing him forever. But yeah, no, I think that's one of the main strengths, I think, of the character design of this film, among others, is the fact that the character designs can be recontextualized as you learn more information throughout the development of the film. And yeah, it's generally fantastic. Like gorgeous score, fantastic writing. I cry every time at the end. Spoilers, I guess, for a very old film, but something happens at the end that makes me cry, even if it's I'm not gonna spoil it, but it makes me cry. Some people might not have seen How to Train Your Dragon. Don't want to spoil it for them. It's a very good movie. Okay. So yeah, I'm generally just trying to clean this up a little bit. Here we got an accidental paw, and I'm gonna use that. I wasn't planning on sculpting this like this. This kind of feels like sculpting. At this point, I'm kind of like carving into the pixels to try to make them do what I want them to do. This would actually be helpful, seeing him like this. Yeah, this is adorable. This is giving like the energy of like the freaking the Yoshi's Island kind of games. It's Paper Mario pixel art game. I think if it is, it probably looks like this too. I'm sure there's others that use this kind of sketchy style. Yeah. So not all pixel art has to look like this. I'm not really doing a tutorial on how not to do pixel art, but for the sake of the stream and trying to finish the dragon before we end, I think this is a good This is a good style. It's rather efficient. Again, why do I come in and clean up? I wouldn't bother cleaning up these lines if I was just drawing it, but with pixel art, every single pixel you place is is intention, you know? Like it expresses what you're trying to show, what you're trying to tell, and should be placed there with intention and foresight. So even if happy accidents happen, you kind of owe it to yourself to come in and make sure that the accidents you want to keep are kept and the accidents that you want to leave are fixed. I wonder if Bob Ross would enjoy pixel art. Okay. Yeah, guys, I think that is the outline of our little Gronkle guy done. I think we managed it. Okay. Fantastic. He is so adorable. Okay. Let's fill him up. What do I want to use as the filling color? Do you want to go for oh, that kind of works for the Gronkle, I think. That was gonna make him stand out a lot. Yep. We're going with this one, and then we're gonna find another earthy tone. But yeah, this is, you can see this is a lot more more cutesy kind of thing, but I think it works really well. And we tried to make an environment that's quite subtle. I don't know if I'm gonna have time for the house, but I promise you guys, I will work on this. If we don't have time for stream, I will work on it in my free time and try to get you guys a more satisfying conclusion to this. But yeah, okay, let's try to find another color. Is this one? Oh, that one's good, I think. Yeah. Oh, should I have him more red and the warts more orange or vice versa? I think vice versa. I think like redder bumps. Yeah, redder bumps looks more interesting. Okay. He doesn't even have wings. I'm not gonna draw the wings. Let's just pretend that they can fold the wings. He's got very tiny wings anyway, so I think it's fine, right? I guess you're not gonna hold me to the wings, right? You're not gonna make me draw the wings. Nah, you're too nice for that, aren't you? You're lovely. Yeah, they barely have wings, anyways. Exactly. Grunkles fly from pure cuteness. The wings are just decoration. Like they don't really, like they're just there. I really do love how they're like designed to look like bees. It is adorable. Okay, so I'm just closing off these things. So very similar kind of like color. Again, the I don't want the wart things to pop out too much. I just wanted to give it a little something. I think I'm gonna keep it rather flat. I could play around with a little bit of shading, but I don't know if I want to. I think the lines themselves are pretty good at shading it. No, I don't think I want to play around with shades too much. I'm using a pretty limited palette and trying my best to stick to it. Yeah, I think I'd rather have it be like a bit more subtle like this kind of Paper Mario-y kind of style. I think this works. Okay, let's go back to Hiccup. We have, oh my god, we have 20 minutes. Okay, it's fine. It's okay. We're fine. Let's just try and make Hiccup not look like this. Okay, do we want to chipify Hiccup? I think we want to chipify. Yeah, maybe we don't make him. I kind of like the idea of him looking at the Gronkle, but I'm now wondering if I want to make Hiccup looking at us so we can actually draw Hiccup. I'm saying Hiccup a lot. Blip. Okay. Let's see. F2 and lower the opacity of this bad boy over here. Okay, so we're gonna keep him around the same size, I think. 15-minute warning. Ooh, that's a good question, Yaron. I think I think he should, like, right, the little canvas mascot. I think they do fold their wings when they're sleeping. That would be very cute. We should draw our little mascot like this, just cradled up. Okay, so for Hiccup, let's use this kind of purplish tone. He's got a... Ooh, sorry. I told you I was going to do that. He's got a bean face. Like, his face is literally a bean in the first movie. So I could just do like a bean and have him looking at us, but I think I'm gonna stick to what we're doing here, and I think I'm gonna have him looking away from us, because I think that works better for the storytelling of it all. And I'm gonna do a more painterly thing. I'm gonna do a less geometric and more painterly kind of thing. Yeah, I think this is gonna be like trying to keep it asymmetrical, you know? Yeah, more painterly kind of thing works well, I think. And he's got his little vest, which again looks like less interesting from the back, but what can we do about that? Let's just try to taper it in. And again, he's going to be a bit chibi-fied. Even if he's not fully chibi-fied, he's going to be chibi-fied a little bit. And he's little bottom of his toga and his little legs. Can make his legs really small. Also, what did we decide? Were we gonna do a peg leg or not? Can't remember. Someone in chat, let me know. Someone in chat, let me know if we decided on peg leg or not. I think I'm gonna do a peg leg. It's so fun. That's another thing. Love us some representation for disabilities in movies for kids. Heck yeah, a hero with a physical disability. That also comes into play in the story. Very, very cool. Very cool. Okay, so he's rather lanky. So we're gonna have his... The problem is when we get to the smaller characters, a lot of it is going to be line. That's why I usually, with smaller characters, I don't bother with making, like, doing lines. Because a lot of it is just the lines. Okay. Ooh, I think the music just looped. That's a sign that we've been at this for a while. The 3 hour or 4 hour music thing just did a loop. A little loop. Yep, I should get to finishing this. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about the hand right now. I think, yeah, I think I'm gonna do a Hiccup more like this, right guys? It works well with this weird kind of like style. I think we just fell into this style pretty much. Like, I wasn't 100% sure how we were going to tackle this at all, but I think this is very cute. And again, I'm not going to have time to do the little house like I wanted to. Do you know what I can do, at least for this, for the sake of this stream? Let's just continue the path here. So I really do want to do like a Burke house in the back, but for the sake of the stream, let's continue the path there and put the little wall here. Boop. And like, yeah, so like it's still, yeah, like it kind of works from like a game point of view, right? Like, you'd want to get past that. Good enough, good enough. Yes, also I'm not sure I'm liking this purple one. I think we're gonna go back to, it's just because green is kind of his color, but I think I used the lime and it didn't really work. It's because he does wear a lot of greens and browns. Yeah, that one's a lot better. It's the saturated one. Okay, let's clean this up. This Hiccup back view thing. Oops. Doop. There we go. let's clean it up and get a little bit better shapes coming down here. Oh, the music suddenly stopped. Okay, it's back again. Did it loop again? I don't think it looped again. I think that must have been something on my computer. Okay. Oh, yeah. That would be very cool, Phil. Philly the Silly. I don't know if your name is Phil. That would be very cool, actually. Someone playing this game. Oh, if anyone likes like drawing OCs and things like that, to try draw your OC playing the How to Train Your Dragon NES game. Once I finish this, I'll post it on our Discord. Plug Discord. Join us on the Discord. It's great. It's amazing. Fun stuff. But like once we finish, I'll put this on the Discord, and you can grab it and kind of like warp it into the screen of a little Game Boy, and have like your characters play with it. So yeah, I think that could be very cool. Have your OCs playing the How to Train Your Dragon NES Game Boy game. Heck yeah. Is that the next actually, what, because we have a challenge on this month that's really fun on the Discord, if I'm not mistaken. What was it? Something about like Rascallion. Hmm. Okay, let me check. Win Canvas over here. My wonderful Discord. Everyone join the Win Canvas Discord. It's so great. Hey. So if we go to the Discord and we go to the monthly challenge, I believe the monthly challenge, which by the way, whenever you submit something to the monthly challenges, we shout it out and take a look at it on these streams. So that's really freaking cool. Yeah, so this challenge, this month's challenge we have is called Juvenile Mischief. So it's all about like what you do for your fun time, and like drawing OCs and like sneaking out of school, or like doing fun things, hanging out with their friends and stuff. So I think playing the new fantastic, super cool, ultra mega amazing game, How to Train Your Dragon NES version, I think that fits in within the challenge. So yeah, join the Discord, guys. Come show us, draw your amazing OC, partaking in the joys that is playing this game that is totally real. Yeah, now I feel the pressure to finish the little house in the back. But yeah. Okay, will we finish Hiccup before the time is up? Maybe we will. At least long enough, like, at least I want it to have it good enough, so we can make a pretty bot thumbnail. But yeah, next session when we do pixel art, I'll stick to sprites. We'll just do sprites. I'll just come up with a specific style, and we'll just do sprites. But yeah, if you guys want to see more pixel art content as well, let us know, because yeah, because we are an illustration school, and most of our focus is on like traditional and digital illustration. But if you guys are excited to learn about things like pixel art, we're more than happy to make content about it. We just want to know if you guys are interested, basically. So yeah, honestly, come to the Discord and tell us about it. Discord plug. I really like how it drops down. It generally makes me very happy that I managed to animate that. I was on with Kevin a little bit before the stream, being very nervous about the whole ordeal, and I somehow just clicked a bunch of buttons and it dropped down, and it brought me a lot of joy. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't. I'm gonna keep this a bit more flat and then just make the hair more blip, kind of like the blade of grass. There you go. Yeah. So I feel like the problem we're going to find with our Hiccup character is that the line isn't going to leave us as much room for detail. as it does with our Gronkle boy. Because Gronkle man over here, he's big, whereas Hiccup is a tiny little lad. So we're going to have to use our pixels a lot more wisely. I think he is getting that very disheveled kind of look though. And again, like you see me, a lot of this pixel art is really just carving. You're just carving into a shape, trying to get it to do what you want it to do. And yeah, so yeah, I want to do a little bit of a white stance here. So let's cut this off a little bit to the side like that. And yeah, I think that works. Yeah, that's cool. His boot, his big fluffy boots. Everyone wears Uggs in the first movie, and I think that's very funny. Um, they're just going around with these giant fluffy boots, and whoever decided to do that, genius, genius move. I'm very sad the boot company didn't come out with any promotional material for the movie. They kind of lost an opportunity there, I feel. Okay, I think that's recognizably Hiccup, right? Is this lanky? Maybe he needs to be lankier, actually. Just because he's got his little vest. But I think maybe if we make it a bit thinner, because he's a very lanky man. Let's actually, yeah, let's use the kind of like thick outline here to our advantage and kind of like carve it out a little bit more his shape. Yeah, I think that works. A little bit of a symmetry here and there. I think that's pretty hiccupy. Maybe his hands are a bit down on his body. Maybe need to be more up here. Yeah, it's a bit gorilla proportions right now. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Okay. Okay, that's too high now. Okay, I think I think that's kind of good. Yeah, I think that kind of works. Let's put our little viewport on Hiccup over here. Yeah, okay. Now let me try and do the thing where we thicken up his outline a bunch to kind of match with our Gronkle. I'm gonna try to be very intentional here and not go all the way with the thickening because I do want some of the texture that we've managed to get, some of the shape that we've managed to get to not get completely lost. And now what I'm going to do here is create some of that, try to create some of that fur texture here from his vest with the shadows, through the shadows of what that would give off. I don't think he's got like a shoulder thing though. Maybe I make it a lot lighter than this. Because I don't think it goes like, I don't think he's got like shoulder fur. I think it's just like a vest. And then I'm gonna create some darkness here under his hair. Some nice shadow. Yeah, that's looking good. And then his boots. See, this is the problem. We get to this a place like here, and we're just getting really tight on space right now. So, yep. Let's actually go super big with the boot. Why not? Let's get really big with it. So the boots are gonna be humongous. So why not? Okay, cool. And then in contrast, we have the little peg-like thing. This little appliance thing. It's kind of like a fork. I'm gonna just do a peg, I think. Yeah. If I know he doesn't have this in the movie, but if I give him a wider leg here, like a wider, no, like a little bit of white fur here, I think that's gonna really help Thank you. I'm really trying to finish it, to list make it look like something for you guys. Okay. Yeah, I think if I do something like this, I can then play with the size. I don't know if I love this. God, this is the problem with pixel art. There's a point where all you're doing is changing one pixel at a time. Try to figure it out, you know? Okay, I think I'm gonna go with this. But I think for this to work, we kind of gotta make boots a bit bigger. Yeah, I think this is it. Yes, I think this is it. Okay, so we kind of have Hiccup. His hands are very shadowy. I'm gonna try and take them out because we do have his green sleeves and those are fine to be like kind of like shadowy. But we kind of want his hands to be hands. And at this scale, that's gonna be kind of hard. So we're just kind of implying a shape here because we're not going to get the shape that we want. So we're just going to have to kind of imply it. And I think that kind of works. Yep, I think that works. Okay, I think we got our Hiccup. Let's do a little bit of the opposite of a hair shine. Just to kind of like imply that perspective basically that we have. That was terrible. Yeah, just a little bit, just to imply the perspective, like reinforce that perspective a little bit more. I'm not loving his legs. But that's way too straight, isn't it? Well, maybe. Yeah, maybe that works. Maybe that works. Okay, I think this is getting there. Okay, let's color him in. Let's try this desaturated kind of green. Again, I'm not going for the right colors here. I'm not going to, like, the goal isn't to replicate the exact colors from the film. So I'm just trying to give him a couple of colors that work. I don't like how this looks now. See, I haven't done the line kind of style a lot. Yeah, I think that's better. Okay, that's better. There we go. And then I'm gonna carve some of the hair out here. Yeah, that kind of works, right? That's our little Hiccup boy. And he's coming up very determined looking because of his hands. He's coming up to the Gronkle that's asleep. Let's actually change the hands. This is something stupid, but I think just because of the hand pose right now, he looks very aggressive. Now with his open palms, now he looks a lot less aggressive. Okay, I think this is working pretty well. I'm gonna add a layer here. This one. Oh, I already had an empty layer there, didn't I? Oh no, it wasn't empty. It had the old Hiccup in it. Never mind. Okay, so I'm gonna add a layer here, and I'm gonna do a little bit of a drop shadow. And I think I want to do what's in this color. No, maybe this color. Yeah, maybe this color. A little bit of a drop shadow, just for a little character. Okay, let's do a little bit of a drop shadow here. And I think we're gonna call it because we are past the mark and we did our best. We tried our hardest. I think that's what's important. And by we, I mean me. This is all my fault. I'm the one who didn't finish this. You guys did nothing wrong. You were just here supporting me. Yes, okay. I'm going to call it because we've reached the time. And I think I sort of managed to maybe finish Hiccup. Is he perfect? Not really, but he kind of looks like Hiccup, right? And I really like the Gronkle, and yeah, I think this is fine. I think we did an okay job. let's ignore the fact that I didn't manage to do the house in the background or the little boxes just like standing around. That's I never meant to do those at all. That was just an illusion of the light. So yeah. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it even better. This is what we managed to do today. Thank you so much. Without you guys, I wouldn't have been able to do this. So yeah, thank you, generally. This was really fun. I just yeah, this was just me talking to myself for 2 hours. Um, as far as I know, none of you are real, so you know. Uh, I'm gonna read the little blurb, just to remind you guys, as a reminder, join us on the Discord. I'm going to be uploading the finished version there. I'm gonna be tweaking a couple of things, gonna like finish these little wooden things. I'm gonna try my best to do the house at the back at some point. But I think we did a pretty neat job here, and yeah, I'm gonna read the blurb again, just to remind you of what we do here, because it's yeah, WinCanvas, kind of freaking amazing, a great community. Um, I think we're probably gonna get the we're gonna get the link to the Discord in chat a couple times. But at WinCanvas, our mission is to make art education easily accessible to everyone. Join us for free live streamed lessons on YouTube every week and level up your skills with our community of art nerds. We're more than just a YouTube channel. We're an online school of illustration dedicated to helping artists turn their passion into an income. A huge shout out to our amazing students and members for supporting our mission. We love seeing your incredible artwork and watching you grow in our classes and weekly critiques. Want to dive deeper? Join our Discord to access stream notes and demos, exclusive artwork, art challenges, and resources to help you improve. Come connect with your fellow art nerds and get inspired. So, yeah, that's what we do here. It's a fantastic community. I'm here working today because I decided to join this wonderful community and ended up becoming a part of the staff here, and hopefully helping you guys become even better artists and grow. So yeah, honestly, I had a wonderful time. I freaking love this cute little Gronkle. I feel we got a bit of diversity of like everything pixel art has to offer. Yeah, I started as a volunteer in Discord. Exactly, like Kevin says, I started off giving advice and helping people out on Discord, and here I am right now. So yeah, no, it's I think we got a little bit of everything. We got to do some character art. We got to learn a little bit about tiling and about palettes and styles and things. And yeah, I had a wonderful time. Thank you everyone for joining me. And yeah, happy happy to be here. I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kevin, but 2 Mondays from now, I'm doing a stream turning blank into Minecraft. So I'll put up a poll there so you guys can tell me again what you want me to turn into Minecraft. I'll be doing some 3D modeling and we'll be doing a little bit of pixel art there as well. So yeah, 2 Mondays from now, exactly. So that's gonna be a fun one. Thank you very much everyone for joining, and I hope you have the best of days. Goodbye.